The Bleacher Report app is your destination for sports. Right now, the NBA's heating up, March Madness is here, and MLB is almost back. Every day there's a new headline, a new highlight, a new moment you've got to see for yourself. That's why I stay locked in with the Bleacher Report app. For me, it's about staying connected to my sports. I can follow the teams I care about, get real-time scores, breaking news, and highlights all in one place. Download the Bleacher Report app today so you never miss a moment.
I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20 to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. Again, go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20.
Welcome to the Backpacking Blisters podcast. We are tips and tales with a sense of humor, and with me today is the second most famous hiker from Kentucky all time, John Kelley. How's it going today, my friend?
And not only the second only, but the second only from North Central Kentucky.
What does that even mean?
That means that there's a lot more people famous than me from Kentucky, like way more well-known.
I didn't say famous. I just said famous hiker.
Well, yeah, I'm saying famous hikers.
If you Google famous hikers from Kentucky, Daniel Boone pops up, and then John Kelley pops up in Google.
And then Jeremiah Stringer, and then Jason Waugh.
Okay.
I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, no, I know you're being humble, but like literally, if you Google it, that's what came up for me.
You were making that up.
No, you're big time.
I'm right there, Daniel Boone, baby.
I'm a little nervous talking to you. I'll be honest here.
Yeah, you should be. Not because of that.
Okay. Well, for those of you who don't know John Kelley, the host of the Backpacking podcast, here's what he does when he comes on the show. So we each come up with a list of things. In this case, it's about, ways trip planners are getting the shaft. And then I bet at least one of John's answers is going to try to poke the bear, me in this case, where he's going to bother me about something. And then he's going to anticipate what I'm going to say, and he already has a response for what I'm going to say. Is that correct?
I mean, I call it a gift, really.
Okay, thank you.
That's what I consider it. So, yeah.
So he's going to try to get a rise out of me at some point, and I'm going to try to not fall victim to that, but I'll probably fail.
That's okay. That makes this entertaining. I see. Derek's not here to do it. If Derek's not here to do it, he's my spirit animal. So I have to call up my spirit animal so that I can play that part for at least part of the podcast.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, man. I thank you for coming on. It's been too long since you were on last time. It was January 2025. I kind of regret the episode we did last time. It might have been a little too strong about gear ripoffs, I think, is something about the title. Remember that?
Oh, there was nothing too strong about that. That was perfectly fine.
Okay. But so we put the episode out, so it goes out on YouTube. And then in addition to that, YouTube Shorts has snippets of it. And the feedback I've been getting for over a year now, and I continue to get, is people defending Western Mountaineering and saying it's not a ripoff because of the quality. And if you compare Loft over years to any other bag, Outdoor Vitals, Nemo, whatever, it's just going to hold up. And we don't know what we're talking about. So I've responded to this a number of times on the podcast. What do you have to say about this?
I stand by everything I said.
It's a ripoff.
100%. It's so stinking expensive, man. It is so expensive.
Yeah.
So yeah,
okay.
I'll stand by it. I'm
so
okay.
Here's the thing: is that if you buy, I don't know, whatever it is, I have to go look, but it's like a 20-degree Western Mountaineering bag. It's like $750, something like that. And I know they have $1,000 bags. Those are the ones that are really, really warm bags. But some of the latest renditions by Mountain Hardwear are about the same price. So are they a ripoff too?
Yeah, I don't buy Mountain Hardwear stuff as far as sleeping bags. I'm typically more into the cottage stuff. I'll buy from I like Outdoor Vitals, which really I don't know if they're cottage anymore, but I'll definitely buy from Outdoor Vitals. I love their stuff. I love UGQ, hammock gear. There's plenty of other places I'll buy from.
So you're too good for Mountain Hardware, you're saying?
Oh, I'm totally a snob, man. Totally stuck up, like nose in the air.
Okay. I'm going to cut the segment where you still said it's a ripoff, and then anybody that gives me any response, I'm going to send to your channel. So
Please do that. Please do that. Well, here's the thing. If they start commenting on our videos at the Backpacking Podcast, that just ups, the YouTube algorithm, and just, we're going to get more views. So I'm down. Like, come and be nasty.
Come
It's
and
fun.
you're inviting people too. All right. Well,
And it's so funny because we're talking about this. Jeremiah is the nicest guy in the world. And we play good cop, bad cop. And I don't think it's intentional. I think Jeremiah's just a good guy. But I will just be honest. And so, it's just kind of fun.
okay. Well,
yeah.
All right. Well, I'm happy to send them your way because, I'm like, it's still, I get, multiple comments a month typically. Still.
Yeah. And I want thoughts and prayers to go out to Darwin. He's been attacked by the Durston Mafia. I feel sorry for he shares honest thoughts about things and people crucify him for it. And I feel for the guy because you got to be honest. It's better to be honest than kiss people's backsides just to make people feel happy.
So the issue is that he makes his own gear. And as a result, he's opening himself up to, like, if he's critical about anybody else's gear, people just feel like he's trying to build his own gear up. And he's not. You're right. He's totally being honest. And that's why I don't bash the Backpacking Podcast unless you're around. Then I'm happy to bash it. Just kidding.
Oh, you know what? Bash away, man. Have some fun. Have some fun. I just want to put I'm just saying thoughts and prayers to Darwin.
Okay.
During this difficult time. Because when they come at you, they come at you hot and heavy. And so I just
For those who don't know, we did an episode called Gear Fails with Darwin, and the YouTube version of that just like got lit up with comments about the Durston gear trekking poles that he was talking about. So that's where that comes from.
The thing is, all they have to do is watch the videos.
Yeah.
And they'll see what happened.
Yeah, no, he demonstrates. It's for sure.
Yeah. It's crazy. It just blows my mind, but it's whatever. It's whatever.
All right. Since you've been on, we've started putting our guests on through the lightning round. I don't think that you have done that yet, so that's going to happen this episode.
All right, let's go.
And then also coming up is somebody informed me there's a new emoji coming out. Might already be out at this point that is backpacking related. So that's coming up too. I saved that one for you.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. I didn't know about that.
All right. So Bible verse of the episode is Psalm 119:105. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. So John, if all we need is the word to light our way, why is trip planning and executing it so stinking challenging?
Because Jesus doesn't always go backpacking with us.
He should.
I wish he would, everyone.
He should. Yeah. What's funny about the whole trip planning thing is that I've been wanting to do this episode forever, but there's not a lot of folks that are actually qualified to do this episode. There's not a lot of people who plan trips and kind of bring a group, and you're the only person I could think of that does that.
Oh,
is that
okay.
right?
Yeah, I do. And lately those trips are with high school guys from our trail life troop at our church, and you might as well wrangle cats. That's all I'm saying.
You got Bluetooth speakers, kids throwing rocks. What else you got?
Oh gosh, it's the military mindset of backpacking that you have to get past. So, oh my gosh, you talk about fun.
All right.
And they're high schoolers, so they're flighty as anything. So
For sure. All right, this episode is brought to you by Enlightened Equipment. Plan your trips better with the best ultralight gear at enlightenedequipment.com. John, let's get to it. You want to go first or second here?
I'll go first.
First way that a trip planner gets a shaft. What do you got?
Think of this one a lot like relationships. When a person wants to end a relationship, but they don't know how to do it, and so they just get real quiet. They're not returning texts. They're not returning phone calls. They're just not responding. I call this the silence. This is that person that you've planned a trip. It's just the two of you. You're planning a trip. You're going somewhere out of state. You've got to rent the campsites. You've got to line up everything in advance. You got to get your shuttle set up. You do all the work. You've been planning it for months with them. And then 3 weeks before you leave, radio silence, and you don't hear a word. And you've lost your deposit on all the campsites. It's happened to me 3 times. Different people, 3 different times. I don't want to say I'm bitter, but Carl, I'm a touch bitter.
Okay, so, it sounds like it. So let's say you got 3 people going, and you put down the deposit. Person number 1 pays. Person number 2 gives you the silence. Do you go back to person number 1 and say, you know what? Actually, this is going to cost a little bit more because person number 2 didn't actually pony up the cash.
Oh, we can always find another person to go with us if I'm doing it with 3 people. But this has happened to me 3 times when it was just me and one other person going backpacking.
Gotcha.
Now, I don't know if maybe I just don't smell nice or
Correct.
I'm just a bad person. I don't know, but they could have just called me up and said, hey, it's not you, it's me, and just broken up. And we'd have been fine.
Right. I'm with you. This is like the new age way of cancellations. It's just like, if I don't say anything, then that problem is just going to go away. And
exactly.
Backpacking is like a high cancellation rate activity anyway. So, man, I'm sorry that's happened to you. It's happened to me. Happens every year.
It's what you get when you decide you want to be a trip planner for a backpacking trip.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, there's advantage to being a trip planner, man, but that's not what this episode's about, so we're not going to talk about that.
That's right.
All right. My first one is I found over the years, especially like I brought a lot of new folks, and maybe you felt this way too, you mentioned bringing high schoolers, is that others may feel like they have to prove themselves to you. So this plays out negatively in a couple different ways. A is if they go enough times and feel confident enough to plan their own trips, you're not going to get invited on those trips because they're trying to strike out on their own and like establish their own trip planning system. And so even though you've been inviting them for a long time, you're not going to get that invite. You're not going to.
Right.
Another way I've seen this play out is if you bring them early on, maybe they're out of shape or they're new and they are just struggling, and you wait with them and you encourage them, whatever. Well, eventually some of those folks get fit and they figure it out. And when they do and they get faster on the trail, they're not looking to like keep up with you. They're looking to ditch you at this point.
Yeah.
And because they're trying to prove themselves to you in 2 different ways. And so now you can't act with either way. And part of me thinks it's okay because they're trying, it's like they're growing and you've inspired that in them, but you're still getting the shaft.
Yeah, definitely. In both cases, you're getting the shaft.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to show mercy and compassion for somebody who desperately needs it while they're on trail.
Right.
And all they want to do is make you look like a fool.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I'm with you 100% on that one.
Okay. So you've experienced this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't have too many people that have trouble keeping up with me. But, yes, I have experienced it. I would be lying if I didn't say that.
John, no matter how slow you go, you are still going faster than the person who keeps on sitting down.
That's true. You're right about that.
And that's the issue, is the sitting down.
You're right. You're right.
The guy I'm thinking of, he's a good dude. We were in Glacier National Park, and we were hiking up this pass, and it had been raining for hours, like that, just like steady rain. We're hiking uphill, so I was fine. Like my body temperature is like perfect because like we're going uphill, and so it's like I'm building the warmth. And it wasn't even that steep a hill, but he's like, can we just like sit down for 5 minutes? I'm like, you want to sit down in the rain and just take it from the rain? He's like, yeah, I'm getting tired. I shouldn't have done it, but I kindly did. I want to sit together. We're in grizzly territory, and so anyway, yeah, I was cold for the rest of the day.
Oh, I bet.
I'm still upset about that. Yeah,
I'll bet. You know, that's the nice thing about being a hammock camper is if somebody says, hey, can we stop? I'll say, yeah, let's stop between those 2 trees and we'll hang the hammock up.
Yeah.
And we'll set up the hammock, we'll sit in our chairs, and we'll just chill out until we feel like hiking again.
You're probably talking about like Red River Gorge passes where as you get to the top, there's still trees there. I'm talking like Glacier National Park, man. We're like above tree line and we're like on the Great Divide, and yeah, it's not happening.
Yeah, some of us just aren't blessed to live that far west.
Yeah, well, that's still.
And
far
I didn't
from
mean
me.
for that to rhyme either, so please don't think that was intentional because it was not. I'm not that creative.
It's that Glacier's not close to me either. It was just a trip I took, and
I've always wanted to go out there too. That's a beautiful place.
All right, that was my first one. What's your next one?
Oh, my next one is just simply being stuck with all the payments. Like you go ahead and pay for.
This is the second one about money, dude. What's going on here?
So this one, you everybody's in, everybody's going, and everybody says they'll pay you when you get to. At the end of the trip, everybody's going to pay you for their campsites and all that stuff. You get done with the trip, and you're lucky if one of them does.
Wait, why don't you get the money before the trip? What's going on with that?
Well, I learned that after this happened. You were asking me ways we get the shaft. This is the way I've gotten the shaft, and I learned my lesson from it. Man, I did a trip with a bunch of buddies, and we went out, and I paid for all the campsites and stuff. At the end of the trip, they all got their vehicles and left, and I went. At that point, it's awkward. You know what I mean? At that point, you're awkward. You're like, So
Yeah,
do
I don't like
do I
asking.
get on them and say, guys, nobody paid for the thing? So I took it as a loss for that one. I was a nice guy on that one.
Yeah.
But man, that's frustrating when you pay out all that money for campsites and stuff. And I think I even got our backcountry permits.
Yeah, you're basically paying for people to go with you. That's what's happening.
Yeah, it honestly felt like I was paying to have friends.
That's what it is. You you hit it, man. That's what trip planning is right there.
It's like I'm bribing them to be my friend.
Kind of.
Listen,
Yeah.
if you'll come, I'll pay for everything.
I had a buddy. He did this for a couple of years. My buddy Jared. He's been on our July trip for years and years, and he finally felt bad about it, and so he's just like, I'm gonna be the enforcer. I'm gonna make sure that everybody stinking pays their way. So he would like go around multiple times on the trip, like, has everybody covered this and paid for this? And so for like 2 years, that wasn't a problem on our July trips. And then when he stopped doing that, that became a problem immediately again. So I appreciate him for those 2 years, though. Next one I got is group texts. So if you're taking a pretty big group here, all right, so here's how it goes down. People are having fun on the text line, but at some point, the trip planner has to share important information. And so they put that information out onto the text line. And then it quickly gets buried in nonsense. People joking about it, reacting to it. Emojis. And so somebody who wants to, who needs that information, they're not going to sift through 35 texts, and so they missed the first part. If you post it again, you repost the same text. By the way, for those who didn't catch it, it gets buried immediately again.
You know who was the best trip planner I've ever had for a trip?
Who's that?
Miyagi.
Okay.
What
do you do?
Brad created a 12-page agenda. And I'm kidding you not. I'll email it to you after this if I can find it. We went and did pictured rocks.
Okay.
And he literally had a 12-page agenda with directions, how many miles we were going to hike each day, where our campsite was going to be, the weather forecast for each day, how much everything was going to cost. I mean, I looked at that. I went, I am never texting anything ever again, because when it's emailed, it's way easier to find because you go to your little search bar and you type Miyagi, it pops up and you've got it. But in texts, man, once it gets buried, all the memes, I mean, you can only see so many of Sesame Street characters before you're like, okay, can we do something different here? You know what I mean? Have you seen that one?
Yeah, but emails, man. What are you from, the 1990s? What's happening here?
Yeah, but man, you could print it out. You could print out the agenda. It was awesome.
I'll just say this: if Miyagi, I don't really know him, but if he invited me on the trip and he sends me,
if a friend invites you, yeah.
If a friend invites me, doesn't typically happen, but if they do, and they send me a 12-page itinerary, I'm not reading 12 pages, man. That's too much.
It was actually really good.
Is a story? How's it good? characters?
Because it wasn't all text. There were maps.
Oh, okay.
It showed you the maps for each day, and it was really, I'm just telling you, it was done well.
I sent out a 1-page itinerary, which I feel like is detailed enough. I'm just talking about there's a last-minute hiccup, or there's some sort of detail, oh, by the way, we have to change our meeting spot.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to, you could email it out, you're right, but it's just my gripe. Let me gripe about it.
Listen, you're allowed. This is a safe space for you, Carl.
I don't know that that's true, being on YouTube, but I appreciate the thought. All right. What's your next one?
Having to play dad.
To your friends?
Yeah, when you've got so many miles you have to do each day.
Right.
And it's guys, we got to get up in the morning and we got to get on the trail or we're going to be hiking in the dark.
Correct.
People forgetting gear and you're like, come on, man. You should have known to bring this with you. And now I'm having to let you use my stuff. And I'm having to.
Right.
Sometimes you get out there, and especially with these high school guys. I mean, it's a ton of it. Thankfully, a lot of their dads come with us. And so their dad can play dad. And I can just be like, good, y'all have fun with that. But you have those one or two guys that dad didn't come. And you're just kind of like, you didn't bring a water filter. No. Okay. Well, let's go filter water.
Yeah.
You only brought one bottle. Let me get you a bottle.
That's all I brought, by the way. That's all I got.
But you have your own water filter bag, so you can carry more if you need to.
True.
These guys have nothing but a small, and a lot of times they'll bring these metal water bottle things, canteen things.
Wait, if you're taking high schoolers, aren't you doing a gear shakedown or a?
Have you ever dealt with high schoolers? You can tell them all you want what they should and shouldn't do. They're still going to do what they want to do.
You're right. I've taken high schoolers. It's been a while, so I don't want to.
They're great. I don't want to make it sound like they're great, but man, sometimes Dad said I need this. Dad said I need a different change of clothes for each day. The food, man, the food.
I would go through their packs at some point, and then I know that the Boy Scouts will actually like lock the packs away so they can't add things after they've like gone through them, and they typically do that like the day before.
Oh, that's smart. I might steal that.
Yeah, I went on a church trip where they did like a pack weigh-in, and they're like, it better not be over 30 pounds, basically, and people's packs were under 30 pounds, but then they let everybody take the packs home, and so by the time it hit the trailhead, people had thrown in so many extra things that it was defeated the purpose, basically. So,
yeah.
Playing dad, that's fair. Yeah, the whole wake-up thing, that is annoying for sure. That's a good one. All right, I've got, you have to learn coded language, which seems to change from year to year. So I've learned, so I'm going to give you...
Coded language.
Yeah, coded language. I'm going to give you some insights here. When somebody says, like if you invite them, I want to go, and then there's a but, that means they don't want to go. That means that they do not want to go. Or I'm going to try to make it means I am 100% of the time not going to make it. I've learned that is always true. That's not sometimes true. It's always true.
Except in one case.
Okay, what's that?
When you came to the Red River Gorge and I told you I'd been injured. And I was like, I promise I want to go.
I got to go back to the language on that one.
And then I actually showed up.
I feel like you just said that I thought you said you're going to make it. Might not be for the whole trip, but you're going to make it.
Yeah, I was so mad. That I was so angry that trip. Like I had a great trip, but I was angry.
We'll come back out. We should come back out and you should do that again.
Yeah.
Okay, the other one is if somebody says, I'm not sure I have this in me today. If they say that like mid-trip, what that really means is I want to quit and I need an excuse. So you really don't want to hear that as a trip leader.
I can honestly say I've never heard that one, but that's fantastic.
Yeah, you can.
I don't really have it in me
like
today.
We've had, and sometimes it's like legitimate. Like we had somebody get sick last year on the trail. Like it's like legitimate. Like they need to like get evacuated from the trail. That's how it goes. So, but just trying to like understand what they're really saying is kind of the onus is on the trip planner.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I get that 100%.
What? Yeah, one more.
I have one more.
All right, what you got?
Because so few people that I know backpack, I have to be an outfitter. So I have to get backpacks for people. I have to have sleeping bags. I basically have to kit out people so they can go. Thank the Lord I did YouTube and the podcast for so long, and I've got so much gear. I can probably outfit 4 people if I need to.
Does that mean it's time to sell things on eBay? Is that really what that means?
I've actually started selling some things, which has been nice.
Right.
It's been nice to get some extra cash. But I mean, I'll be honest, I've got a lot of people that they won't go because they don't have any gear. And so I end up having to outfit them so they can go. People have used my backpacks, sleeping bags, tarps. I don't allow people to use my hammock. That is a no-go. You do not, nobody's sweating in that hammock but me. And they don't use my pillows either.
Okay.
But people have used all kinds of gear of mine over the years. And a lot of times that's the only way I can get some people to be able to go with me.
Well, my last one is similar to that. I'm just going to piggyback on that one because mine was lending gear, but for a different reason.
Oh.
Yeah, and so maybe you're better at this than me, is that when you lend gear, especially if you're lending out to a lot of folks, you may not get it back, or you may not get it back in a timely fashion. We lent out a sleeping bag to somebody, and I was outfitting a ton of people. This is like early days podcast, so I did not have a lot of extra backpacking gear. I had to borrow a sleeping bag from a buddy to give to somebody who was going on the trip who happened to live out of state. We were all meeting up in Utah. I didn't get that sleeping bag back for 2.5 years. 2.5 years.
I thought you were saying 2.5 months. I thought that you were going to say, well, that's not too bad. Years.
Like we would meet up periodically. They wouldn't bring it. I'm like, you could just send it. No.
Wow.
And sometimes it's their fault. Sometimes it's my fault because I forget to ask for it back or I forget what I've lent out, especially if you're outfitting people. I imagine that'd be very difficult. But either way, it's just like gear ends up other places and sometimes it goes away forever. Have you not had this experience?
I've gotten all my gear back, but I will say
Really?
from other things in the past that weren't backpacking, it's happened a lot. Where I've loaned stuff to people and I just never see it again.
Like books, right?
Maybe not really books, no.
Books are like the most common thing people never give back ever.
A funny story though about me borrowing something from somebody and forgetting to get it back to them. So when I went, it was 2019, and myself and Jeremiah and Jason, Jeremiah's wife, were meeting up with Dan Becker up in Michigan at a hammock hang.
Okay.
And I had to borrow an underquilt from Mr. Backpacking with Jason, sir, and use that because I didn't have one. And so I borrowed it from him. Actually, no, I take it back. I borrowed it early in 2020 for a trip to Michigan, right before COVID. It wasn't Michigan, it was Wisconsin. We were hiking Wisconsin in February because, that's what smart people do. And so
It starts changing as we go here.
I'm 52 now. My brain doesn't work like it used to. But we're in Wisconsin. It was the Schill brothers and Dan Becker and myself and I think Rob Pelton and Jeremy LaCroix and this huge and Chad from UTQ.
If you're wondering, is he name dropping right now? He's trying to name drop.
I'm just saying, there's actually videos. Every one of us made videos.
Okay.
And so I borrowed Jason's underquilt for that trip because it was a 0-degree underquilt.
Yeah.
Well, we were meeting up in March for a trip. And I promised him I'd bring it back to his house that week. I did not. Well, then I realized, the trip is this week and he needs it like on Friday. But there was no way for he and I to get together so I could get it to him. So I had to hike to our first campsite with my own kit and then his quilt in a storage sack just bouncing off of my back as I'm hiking up the trail. So if you can imagine me with a huge backpack and then this massive thing.
So you're meeting him at Camp 1, basically?
And I had to bring him his underquilt because he didn't have it and I had it.
Yeah, but dude, you still delivered, man. Like you still brought it to him.
Yeah, but it wasn't fun to have to deliver it that way. I wish I'd have remembered better. Now, and there's another funny thing too. We did a trip last year. We did like a overlanding kind of trip. And I had brought a bunch of hot dog stickers, like the big long ones that you can put hot dogs on. And I left them because they were going to have hot dogs that night and I went home early. And Jason, he said, well, I'll have them at my house. Just come by and pick them up. Yeah, I don't know if they're still there or not. I definitely completely forgot them. My wife is constantly going, what happened to those? I'm like, I don't know, babe. I'm not sure where they went.
You gave him the silence on that one is what happened right there.
Well, I don't know if I gave him the silence. I have the worst ADD. I mean, I'm adult ADHD, like clinical. And if I talk to you and say I'll do something, I really mean I'll do it. But if I talk to anybody between now and the moment when I said I'm going to do it, I'm probably not going to remember to do it.
Fair enough. I didn't realize you were like an overlander. Isn't overlanding just like driving on dirt roads?
I don't know if it's overlanding or off-roading. It's either overlanding or off-roading.
Let's see. So I think we hit the only other honorable mention kind of touches on what you mentioned, like people forgetting gear. And the one that I keep on bringing up is people keep on forgetting their spoon. And so bringing an extra spoon or two to help out with that, especially if there's high schoolers. Like, I don't want to share a spoon or... Yeah,
you know what the secret is? You stop at a Dairy Queen on the way, and you tell everybody to buy a small Blizzard, and they get one of those real long red spoons.
Right.
And you just tell every one of them, keep that spoon for the week.
Do you feel like you're about to go backpacking, you want Dairy Queen in your stomach? Is that what you're saying?
That's a small one.
You feel like you go to Dairy Queen, everybody's only getting a small one?
Listen, I can only tell them what I can tell them. They have to make their own decisions in life. But if I just eat a little tiny one, like a mini, and they all eat larger ones, it makes me look like a better hiker.
It does. And then we're circling back to these same problems that we were just complaining about. So, yeah. So I don't know that we came with a ton of solutions here, but these are things you got to be aware of if you're the trip planner, or if you're somebody who is fortunate enough to get invited on a trip, then just don't be that person. Just don't be them.
Yeah. And I as we're sitting here talking, I'm even thinking of more. And there's just so many.
There is. And John and I are not looking for trip invites as a result of these things.
Carl kind of is. I
think that John has already mentioned he only goes backpacking with famous people anyway. So he's definitely not looking for one unless you're famous. And for me, like, I think I'm loaded with a Patreon trip. So if you want to go backpacking, like, you just got to come on a Patreon trip and get my 1-page itinerary, not a stinking 12-page one.
And I will go to bat for you. Your Patreon trips are fun.
Well, thanks, man. I mean, you only went on one, but I appreciate that.
Yeah, but I mean, I went on one and it was fun. It was a blast. I had a great time.
That's nice of you.
And you introduced me to Backcountry Bocce. And I don't know that I'll ever be the same.
Well, you come on another one, man. We got Backcountry Jeopardy coming up. So if you...
Backcountry Jeopardy. Wow.
All right, so what did we miss? Let us know any issues you've had as a trip planner. I would love to hear those stories. That way we don't feel alone in this. All right, I've got John going through the lightning round coming up right after this.
The Bleacher Report app is your destination for sports. Right now, the NBA's heating up, March Madness is here, and MLB is almost back. Every day there's a new headline, a new highlight, a new moment you've got to see for yourself. That's why I stay locked in with the Bleacher Report app. For me, it's about staying connected to my sports. I can follow the teams I care about, get real-time scores, breaking news, and highlights all in one place. Download the Bleacher Report app today so you never miss a moment.
I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20 to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. Again, go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20.
Hi, this is Alex Kantrowitz. I'm the host of Big Technology Podcast, a longtime reporter and an on-air contributor to CNBC. And if you're like me, you're trying to figure out how artificial intelligence is changing the business world and our lives. So each week on Big Technology, I bring on key actors from companies building AI tech and outsiders trying to influence it, asking where this is all going. They come from places like NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, and plenty more. So if you want to be smart with your wallet, your career choices, in meetings with your colleagues, and at dinner parties, listen to Big Technology Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
Okay, Lightning Round is brought to you by Magnet Designs. Handmade to order in Bend, Oregon, Magnet Designs gives you the most vetted backpacking products with the smallest environmental footprint. Through hiker design, tested, built, and owned. Check out the Alpha 90 hoodie, their best-selling product, using Polar Tech Alpha Direct fabric. It's ultralight, compressible, hydrophobic, breathable, quick-drying, and just 4.5 ounces. Google Magnet Designs for the best backpacking gear. All right, my friend. So you got 1 minute to answer as many questions as you can. These could be backpacking related or not. Are you ready?
Yes.
The timer starts after I ask the first question. Here we go. I want to know a guest you've had on your show that you want to go backpacking with for the first time.
Dixie.
The best thing about Kentucky.
It's not the driving. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. It's some of the most beautiful country in the world.
Your biggest outdoor fear.
My biggest outdoor fear? Oh gosh, man. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a lot of outdoor fear.
All right, pass.
Okay, pass.
Favorite sock brand.
Sock brand? That would be Njinji.
Your favorite brand of deodorant.
Favorite brand of deodorant? Old Spice.
One of your favorite phone apps.
Man, you have to do this to me, don't you? I don't even know. I will say Reddit.
Can you please sing the Yahoo sound logo?
Yahoo!
What's the deal with the Men in Black?
They're just trying to save the world from alien invaders.
And time. All right, I think you get 7? 1, 2.
Heat stroke. There's my fear. Heat stroke.
Okay. Yeah, too late for that.
That's too late. Yeah,
7 is slightly under average, John. Under average.
Well, you caught me off guard with the phone app because I'm like, I don't know. What do I look at on the phone? I don't even know. Yeah.
I was I mean, there's a lot of, it could be email.
I've actually recently started erasing all the games off of my phone.
Like what?
Like any game. Because I found out what I'll do is I'll just sit and play these stupid games and I will waste time. And I was like, man, I could get a lot more done if I didn't do these stupid games. And so that's why when you said that, I'm like, it's really fresh in my brain at the time. So
people want to know what's a game app you deleted? Chess?
What was it called? Something.
Go Fish?
I can't remember the name of it now. It was some game where you draw circles around dogs so they can't get stung by bees. I want to say I'm
Whatever
joking.
game that is, I've
That's
never heard of
legitimately
that.
true. That's legitimately
I want to look that one up
true.
now. What's the game where you draw circles around dogs to prevent them from getting stung by bees? That's amazing.
There you go. Yeah.
Dixie's a really good answer for your first question. Yeah, she'd be super nice. She's super nice and super fun to go backpacking with for sure.
You know, we've had her on the podcast, and she's going to be on the podcast here soon
cool.
too. But we think the world of her,
she's great.
and she's such a nice lady. And I just think it'd be fun because we actually talked about this on our podcast this past week, and I said I would love to see what happens when things hit the fan and she starts getting upset.
Oh.
Like if she gets like in frustrating situations, I want to see how Dixie deals with frustration on the
In a
trail.
nice way is how she would do that.
I'm gonna assume she's gonna just be so polite to that stupid bug that just stung
Right.
her, you know.
Dang gummit.
But
Yeah.
I'm curious what it'd be
Yeah,
like.
for sure.
So
That's funny, man. I mean, you could ask her that, right? Just be like I've tried to do the whole role play thing. Like, all right, I'm the hiker, and then I get in character, and then I say something. I can't get the other person to actually respond like in their own character. So if you can do that with Dixie, like kudos to you.
yeah, that'd be fun. I just think it'd be a fun hike.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Couple tidbits here. New emoji coming out. They are gonna have, or maybe already have, a Sasquatch emoji. John,
Wait, what? You're saying Bigfoot will have an emoji?
on the iPhone, I believe.
Are they conceding to the fact that he's real?
I mean, yeah. Like, aren't all the emojis real?
I think so. I think so.
I would say like 1,000,001 uses for that emoji. So thank you. That was kind of, maybe a little late, but better late than never. So
At least the effort's been put out there.
yeah, for sure.
That's good.
All right, open mic night for John. What's going on the Backpacking Podcast and anything else that you're creating? What you got going on?
Well, the Backpacking Podcast, we're setting off live streams every Wednesday between 4 and 4:30. It just depends on when Jeremiah gets home from school.
And that's Eastern time, right?
Yeah, it's Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
We got Dixie's one of our guests that's coming up. We got some other guests that are coming up. They're going to be great. Another project that's going on right now. A lot of people have been asking me what happened to your YouTube channel.
They're still asking? It's been years, man.
I know, but I put out a video a year and a half ago, I guess.
Okay.
But people are asking what's going on with the YouTube channel. And what's going on with the YouTube channel is it's getting a complete rebrand.
Okay.
Myself and two buddies of mine, Troy and Taylor, are going to be doing the channel with me. And it's not just going to be backpacking, because over the last 3 years, I've fallen in love with all kinds of outdoor stuff. Hunting, fishing.
Overlanding.
Overlanding. Off-roading, whatever you want to call it.
Driving on dirt roads.
Anything I can do outside, I'm doing right now. And so these guys are the same way. The funny thing is neither one of them have ever backpacked. And so we're going to do this channel together. And one of the first videos hopefully we'll put out this year is them going on their first backpacking trip.
Dude, this episode is about those guys. They're going to do literally all the things we just talked about.
They can't because we're business partners now. So
they're not paying you for any of the permits. They're going to give you coded language. They're going to bail last second.
Well, here's the thing. Channel pays for it.
It pays for them bailing, but that's not any fun if they bail.
Well, but it doesn't hurt me.
Okay.
so I'm good with that.
It might hurt you on the inside, John.
Yeah. Well, what's great about it is we're actually building a set. We got furniture coming in. I mean, we're doing this thing up, and we're going to have, it's called the Cross Trails Podcast. It's not just going to be a podcast. It's also going to be tips videos. We're going to have some hiking videos, hunting videos, fishing videos, all kinds of outdoor stuff. And we're going to talk a little bit about Jesus in the process. So it's going to be a pretty awesome thing that we're getting ready to do.
And when we say it's a podcast, it's like podcast / YouTube channel. Is that what that is?
We're going to be doing the podcast actually as a podcast, but we're going to air the podcast episodes on the YouTube channel.
I already invited John and his crew onto this show, so we'll see if it's hard to schedule everybody all at once, but if it happens, like, you're open invite.
Oh,
man.
we're fully there. They're excited to do it.
Okay.
We just want to get our set done.
Yeah.
So when we're on the show, you can see what all's going on, and they're excited. We've talked about it quite a bit, so the guys are super pumped about being on there.
Right on. All right. Well, stay tuned for that. When it does drop and we start releasing things, let me know. I'll pump it up on our show. I'll share links. I assume that if they just subscribe to like your existing YouTube channel, that it'll pop up in their feed. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I'm fully anticipating losing about half of my subscribers because it's such a drastic change from what it was originally. So I'll be more than willing to welcome brand new subscribers to the channel as we get this thing going.
Right on. I think I'm already subscribed, but I can unsubscribe if you want me to, just to
resubscribe?
Make your predictions correct, I guess. Yeah.
As long as you resubscribe, I'm okay with it.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
All right. So that's a big announcement. So yeah, hope that comes soon, and excited about it. And John, always a pleasure and honor to have you on the show, my friend.
Ditto. It's always a pleasure and honor to be on this show.
Thank you. And remember, one of the things trip planners have to do is pre-plan meals. Now that's some food for thought.
Oh my gosh.
Have a great week and God bless.
I want to fly. B&B, hope everyone is well. This is Rock. Brief update on Jennifer. She's getting better. She's growing in the Lord, and she's learning to trust him more and more through all the ups and the downs. And praise God, there's still more ups than there are downs. Now, speaking of ups and downs, you go on a backpacking trip, there's uphill, there's downhill. And the person that leads you on those uphill and downhill segments is, of course, the trip planner. That's right, the fabled trip planner, everybody. It's a big position in life. It's like the CEO of a company, the head football coach of a football team. I've heard a lot of people get annoyed with their trip planners. I got to say that there are trip planners, and then there are trip planners. The only trip planner that I've ever had is a guy named Carl Mandrioli. He's never given me any reason to ever get annoyed at him. I don't think I'd get annoyed at him anyway, but he's never given me any reason to get annoyed at him at all. So if you've got something annoying going on with your trip planner, let me know. I'll try to pray for the situation to get better. And I just want to end it all by saying this. There are trip planners, and then there's Carl Mandrioli.
This is Mike Volo of Lexicon Valley.
And I'm Bob Garfield. Are you one of those people who sometimes uses words?
Do you communicate or acquire information with, language?
Hey, us too. So join us on Lexicon Valley to chew over the history, culture, and many mysteries of English, plus some wisecracks.
Find us on one of those apps where people listen to podcasts.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.